Are there any tracks recently that you feel super proud of?
Deadman, and I like what else? There's one more. I'll take Fake Love.
Were there any interest in becoming an artist during school, high school, any of those type of things?
Honestly, no. I was just randomly one day just making a beat, listening to me. You know what I'm saying? Someone's like, "Oh, hop on a beat real quick, freestyle." Obviously, it was not good. It was trash, but they thought it was. They were hyping me up. You know already know how it goes. So then I'm like, all right, maybe I can try and see what happens. So then I kept doing it, and now we're here.
So what's like uh, some of the first type beats you typed in onto YouTube? I feel like most artists start there.
I'd say old school hip hop, '90s. Yeah, I never just hopped into like the new wave, what's going on, the trending. I've always, because that's you gotta practice first. Practice makes perfect. So slower. I mean, I started off slower, obviously slower rhythms and slower bars like that. But now that be like obviously as time goes on, it's gotten better. So
Now, are there certain maybe eras of hip hop that you kind of got hold like dear and near to your heart and everything? Maybe like '90s, maybe early 2000 eras.
thousands, bro. Like when I was growing up, every time I hear songs I grew up on, like my parents played for me when I was a kid, it just hits different. You know what I mean? Always hits different.
Any certain artists that stand out during that period?
I think there's definitely a couple, but
I know 50 Cent was a huge one for me for sure.
50 is a big influence. Even till this day, 50's still out here, bro, making waves, bro. Every like week I hear something about 50, bro. I swear to God.
For sure, and I definitely think 50's a person. He's stayed on like a longevity path. He's made sure that he's last long in the game. What's some of your plans to last long in the game?
Honestly, take it to movies, man. I'm trying to do. I've been looking to do movies for the last year and a half, 2 years, but it's like it's kind of hard though because people like casting and making sure people are actually on board to actually do it. Because it's like people, if they're not getting paid, they ain't gonna do it. So it's like you gotta pay these motherfuckers, and you gotta make sure they steady getting paid, so they don't quit on you halfway through the production, and then you know what I mean.
I've shot a short film. We were able to premiere it on South Clinton at this movie theater. I say one big takeaway that I learned from that, trying to pay people, do everything like that, have a budget, and then try to like, just like when you're coming up with your promo plan, it's kind of the same thing. So I definitely say like, yo, if that's a dream that you have, shoot for it. Shoot for it. It's definitely possible too.
It's definitely not a reach because obviously people start up small and look what they're. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like look at Steven Spielberg, bro, Michael Bay, all them big people that started off in way back in the day, and now they literally have created movies that have generated billions of dollars, bro. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Everyone doesn't want to take the steps to get there. Everyone wants to just be Scarface, run the world, and they just don't want to be the moment when he's in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Start at the bottom. So you just can't skip the steps of success. You really can't.
Do you, do you feel like there's any positions like that when it comes to the music industry?
If you know people, if say like your dad, your president, or someone's big in the music industry, you obviously have an advantage all day. All day. I don't care what anybody says. Even if your music's not good, they can still get in there and, oh, I want you to push my daughter's music, my son's music, and they will. And next thing you know, bro, they're popping, and then they find their own like pretty much their own sound at that point.
For sure, and I feel like those type of people definitely take a more industry path. Some of them, like I think it's crazy to even think about. There's people that apply to jobs to record labels, like that boggles my mind. Cause no, for sure, that's how some people got into music back, especially like early 2000 or anything like that.
Pretty much.
For sure, like you could go on Indeed or whatever you use, and that was the case. That's how, like, let's say you wanted to be an A&R, for example, you had to apply for that position. So, even to like as an artist, there would be people, they'll do the application route of that, like go on the website, type in their info, like, hey, here's a couple songs.